Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of Paul Brown Show. We're taping live at 2 Expose You Studio. I have Mr. Darrell Goodman. He's the founder. Mr. Ray Harvey, chief engineer. For all y'all business owners, all y'all who need some marketing, get in contact with Darrell and Ray and let them put you on 2 Expose You. This evening, I have as my guest 2 special friends. I have Mr. Jonathan Griffin and Robert Green, 2 of my brothers from Benedict College, Epsilon Chapter. How y'all gentlemen doing?
How you doing, brother?
Doing great, Paul.
Great. Okay, first of all, let's tell us a little bit about yourself. To my left, that'd be Robert at the top. Tell us about yourself, Robert.
So my name is Robert Green. Like Paul mentioned earlier, I'm a graduate of Benedict College, 1983, some time back. I left the college, went to serve the military for another 20 plus years, and landed in the Virginia area for the next 18 or so years, and I'm currently now living in North Carolina. I'm excited about the anniversary. I'm excited about the reunion and the fellowship with the brothers, and I'll give Jonathan the time to introduce himself.
Okay, next I have Mr. Jonathan Griffin.
Hey, how's everybody going? It's a privilege to be here, especially on this occasion, but anytime we get to fellowship together, haven't seen Paul in a while. Jonathan Griffin, graduated from Benedict College as well, 1983. Spent 28 years in the military. After that, formed my own company, J3S Services. Spent 8 years doing construction, staff augmentation, and support to the Department of Defense in Afghanistan. And now back in Columbus, Georgia, where I continue to run the business, do a lot of consulting for Aflac Insurance and several other types of projects from a consulting standpoint. But that's who I am in a nutshell. Just glad to be here, Paul.
Thank you, sir. Now, the both of them, they are line brothers, and I think this should be your anniversary down here, shouldn't it?
No,
You got it right.
November the 13th.
November 13th. Happy anniversary, gentlemen. 40 years. Shouldn't that be?
Yes, sir.
You're looking great. Okay, but we're going to talk about the anniversary of Epsilon Chapter, Benedict College, the 75th anniversary. Tell the audience a little bit about that anniversary.
So this is the 75th anniversary for Epsilon Chapter, and what we decided to do, it first began with about 10 brothers getting together, just trying to plan and see how we could put something together. And then we were able to form a governance body, and now we're preparing to host the 75th, the 30th of March through the 3rd of April, really 28th of March through the 3rd of April, 2021. It's a full lineup of activities, mostly focused on celebrating those who blazed the trail before us, but also honoring our mother chapter and our mother college, who, if it has not been for Benedict, most of us would not be where we are today, considering how things were in the late 60s, early 70s when we all came through. But the activities will include Monday, Tuesday, we're doing a business forum, of which Robert will talk more, a mentoring session, some business training. And then Wednesday, we're continuing that activity, but we're including brothers who have businesses. We're also going to do a formal reception with Dr. Artis, the board of directors, and the student government. During that week, we'll have our 75th honorary or signatory line of young brothers who will have been initiated just that weekend prior. They'll be conducting community service, and the major activities from that point include step show, which will include schools from throughout the 6th district, We'll have a comedy show, Cues of Comedy, where we've got Ricky Smiley, Joe Torre, our very own chapter brother, Howard Bale, and an up-and-coming young man out of the Columbia area who's also frat. And the activities culminate on Saturday with instead of a black tie, we have a purple tie affair. And then on Sunday, as usual, and Paul will relate to this, we can't have an event that does not culminate at Dr. Blakely Scott's church. So our church service on Sunday morning with Dr. Blakely Scott.
Right. Mr. Green, tell us a little bit about the anniversary and what it means to you.
Yeah, so thank you, Paul. The point that I will emphasize that Jonathan has touched on is, and I'll start with one of the signature things about Omega Phi Psi, and that is fellowship. So this anniversary in that context is paramount for us to be able to present and put on, so that we can review the history and to fellowship. And as both of these brothers will tell you, that this history and fellowship will be a first for the chapter. And it gives us an opportunity to meet and fellowship with brothers that we have not met. Some we've just heard through means of history, but very recently, what we've been able to do just with the planning for the 75th is to meet brothers from the original, not the original line, but from for several of the earlier lines, 1947. We met some brothers in the 60s, met brothers all through 70s and the 90s. And that is a first for Omega Psi Epsilon Chapter. And so we're very, very proud to put this on. The other thing that's significant about Omega and most Black fraternity and sororities, we owe service to the community. And this is the piece of the mentorship program that we will talk about later, but that's the service that we're aligning with this signature event, the 75th anniversary for Epsilon Chapter. Excuse me. This is the community service piece that we're doing along with the other event that Jonathan mentioned earlier. And it gives us an opportunity to give back to the community as we develop not only young brothers and sisters within not only the Columbia community, because as you can imagine, Omega has Epsilon Chapter have brothers of the world, and we're tapping into that resource so that we can make this community project much larger than Columbia, but instead extend through the 50 plus states in the United States and abroad. And Paul, I'll stop right there and entertain any additional questions you might have.
That's great. Why is it so important that brothers attend this event? Because this is something that's monumental. This is something that's not going to happen probably once in a lifetime for us. So why is it so important that we make it a point to be there?
So let me start, and then Robert can pick up. It is monumental in the sense that our history is rich in Omega Psi Phi and Epsilon Chapter. When you think about the likes of General Zimmerman, the first Black chaplain in the Navy to make general officer, he was at our commissioning ceremony, Benedict College grad. We didn't know that information until then. Meeting brothers who are still living, who talk and share with us how they have seen the fraternity change, and just to compare how their processes were with our processes, and to understand the many accomplishments that these brothers have made, that's monumental. To touch on your point, the 75th, that's once in a lifetime. I would love to see the 150th, but I'm 60 years old, and the way God has planned it, we don't live that long anymore. But we are trying to document this, and we're trying to start a momentum that brings all these brothers back and continues to share and continue to share with one another. The last piece that I'll say about that is it's important for the brothers to attend, one, for the history. It's important for them to attend, two, for the fellowship. But number three, it's important for them to return because part of what we're also doing is paying homage to Benedict College. We're trying to raise $75,000. We're going to create a foundation that will continue to give monies back to Benedict, as well as provide scholarships for the young brothers coming in through Epsilon Chapter. And for that matter, any young person who is at Benedict trying to further their education and prepare for their future. That's why this is important. This is our time now to give back and to really walk our creed and really put into practice what we've said, Q Psi Phi to the day I die. Well, a lot of us died right after college from a support standpoint. But the aspect that we want to look at is we are charged to lift as we climb. And so I want to meet these young people because there may be some things that I can do to help them further their life. And that's what the whole fraternal plan was all about.
Brother Green, why is this so important to you as being part of this planning committee?
Brother Brian, you took me back to the time when I was on Benedict College, and we were meeting people like Zach Weston, and who's the founder of that Epsilon-Epsilon Chapter, and brothers like that who were connecting us to the future. And so it is our obligation too, and this is what this 75th will do, is to connect the past with the future. And as Jonathan mentioned so elegantly a minute ago, we have an obligation. One of our founding principles is uplift. We have an obligation to lift these brothers into the future by the past knowledges and experiences that we've had, to use that connection with Benedict College, our alma mater, to go back and to do what we can to not only encourage current students and brothers in Omega Psi Phi Chapter and beyond, to encourage them based on what we were able to do, but to also show them the potential and to help them to do even better than we were able to accomplish in our time frame. So in short, it's the way that we're connecting the past with the future. That's why that history piece that we keep talking about and the fellowship piece is really at the forefront of what we're doing. It's not just saying it, but we're going to demonstrate through the fundraiser that Jonathan mentioned earlier, and also this initiative in terms of the entrepreneurship program. And we'll talk later about not only providing that training, but to develop a legacy type support for Benedict College, where we're going to establish internships that goes well beyond the 75th and takes us into hopefully a relationship that we can maintain way into the future, a mentoring and internship for our brothers and sisters at the alma mater that we love. And again, it certainly will go well beyond that into the community and abroad.
Now that's great. Is there like a hotel or some type of, quarters that's reserved for out-of-town guests?
Yeah, so the host hotel is the Doubletree. We've already set up a contract with them. This upcoming planning session, information will begin to go out to brothers. Oh, by the way, Paul, we've linked in to over 150 plus brothers, and have made contact with them and are getting them involved. Up to this point, we've had over 400 brothers matriculate through Epsilon Chapter. And we're reaching out because we want to identify every living brother and every deceased brother at Omega Chapter, because we want to honor them. But yes, the host hotel is a Doubletree, and there is a link set up where brethren can call the DoubleTree and reserve their rooms. We're in the next week, we'll have our web page up where brothers can go online and register. But like I said, we have an extensive email network right now where we're passing information. And once a month, we are hosting a Zoom call where the brothers are able to come in, and the governance committee and the committee chairs are able to provide information to them on what's being planned, the progress of that planning, and give them the opportunity to ask questions and make recommendations and so forth. So it's been an extensive planning process.
Okay, great. Is there a package deal being provided for this weekly event?
Yes, so we have 3 packages. We have a gold, purple, and silver package. The silver package is about a $250 package, and it provides basically attendance, 1 ticket for attendance to all of the events. Of course, golf is a separate fee that you would pay for, but it would give them access to the key things: the step show, the purple tie event, and the comedy show. The purple package is $750, and it gives access to all of the events, but you get extra tickets for a guest or a spouse. And then the gold package is $1,000, and you get unlimited access. You get multiple tickets for every event, and it will include several things in the gold packet. Every gold member will get a purple jacket that's engraved with Epsilon Epsilon, the 75th anniversary. They'll get a plaque. Every brother will have a brick. We are putting bricks at the plot with every brother who has ever pledged name on it. There are many other items that they get, from medallions to jewelry boxes, but we have a plethora of gifts that we're providing to the brothers who come in at the $1,000 level. And right now we just hit our 43rd brother who came in at the $1,000 level. So and then for the brothers who are early 60s, late 50s and early 60s, we have a special package for them. It's $500, but they get the same items as you would in the gold package.
Can you repeat that, sir?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So the packages, 3 major packages: silver, purple, and gold. Silver, $250. It gives you access to the events, usually 1 ticket. The gold or the purple package, $750. Access to all events, and you get multiple tickets. The gold package, which is the granddaddy of all packages, is $1,000. And within that package, you get access to all events, to include receptions and other things that we're doing with Benedict College. You get multiple tickets, as well as the gifts that you will get as a part of that package include an engraved purple jacket, a plaque signifying the 75th and your commitment. Every brother will get a brick that we're putting on our plot at Benedict College that honors every member who has pledged through Benedict College, as well as medallions and other memorabilia for this event. The special package we have for our brothers in the 50s up to the early 60s is a $500 package for them, and they get the same benefits as the brethren in the gold package. And we did that because we did not want money to prevent these brothers, some who are up in their 90s, who want to attend and are committed to attend as God willing. We did not want money to prevent them from coming and allow us to miss a tremendous opportunity to meet those brothers.
Right. Okay. I know right now we're dealing with that COVID situation. How is that being addressed in your planning for a safe anniversary?
So right now,
John, go ahead.
I'm going to do it. Right.
I can answer that for us. During the planning session from day one, Paul, the short answer is vaccination or you cannot attend. It's just that simple. And we're asking, we have a brother that's a part of the planning process, that's a part of the CDC, and he's providing the information. He will be the one that help us to validate the vaccination of participants. And so in short, the bottom line is we are interested in not only protecting ourselves, but protecting all that will be in attendance, providing services to us. And so you have to be vaccinated to participate in the event. And oh, by the way, this is in line with the national chapters of guidance in that particular area.
So why is this so important? Because I know there's going to be a lot of people who saying, well, I'm not vaccinated, but I want to attend an event. Why is this so important?
So as Robert, So as Robert said, from a health perspective, but we also have to be in compliance with what Benedict's policies are, what the state of South Carolina's policies are. So brothers, the events that we cannot control, whether or not brothers are vaccinated or not, we can't control the comedy show because that's going to be at the township and it's going to be open. Golf tournament, we can't control. Right now, it's going to be in an open site. But for all events such as the purple tie or closed events, we are asking brothers to do it. Brother Stanley is our health coordinator. He works for the CDC in DC. And so we are actually not getting a lot of pushback, which is great on that. And we've had several in-person meetings, and brothers who were not vaccinated, they just, they would attend by Zoom. And we're still encouraging those brothers who are not vaccinated and providing them the information that would help them, make a wise decision. To include, we have physicians who are fraternity brothers and our others who we are referring them to so that they can discuss those options. But again, it's just safe practice. I'm fully vaccinated, brother, and I had COVID and influenza B at the same time. Several months after vaccinated, I was down for 40 days. And the only reason that I'm here today is the fact that I was vaccinated. I did go to the hospital on 3 occasions to get COVID infusions, but I never went on a respirator, ventilator, nor did I ever have to spend a night in the hospital. But this is not something that we need to play with. I've just buried another family member last week who died from COVID, and they were vaccinated, but they had a lot of other circumstances and illnesses that cause their body not to be able to fight. But this is critical because we're talking not just your life, but other people's lives. And let me end on this one thing. We had a funeral on Saturday last week of a family who refused to get vaccinated. The twin babies, 3 years old, they got it. Thank God they survived. The mom had it. Thank God she survived. Her mom got it. She died. Her funeral was 2 weeks ago. Last Saturday, we buried the husband who got it. What a tremendous price to pay for just not trusting the science and the guidance, which brings us back to the whole purpose of college and the whole purpose of the fraternity is to lift as we climb and to educate our minds. It is free will and choice, but it's very critical.
And Paul, could I add also, let this be a last plea to the brothers to think about what Jonathan just said, that we know, by the way, and think about that as another opportunity for Megas to lead in the community. That's what it is, and the friendship and scholarships that we talk about. Think about the brothers that will attend that event, 90 plus years old, and then think about yourself. We're really doing it for each of ourselves, because this is a deadly disease that doesn't discriminate in no way nor form. And so the plea is for Omegas once again to step up and help us lead the community. Again, we can't twist anybody's arms. People have reasons for not, but we can certainly try to encourage and lead the community in the way of ensuring that everyone is vaccinated beyond the 75th event. Talk to people in the community, talk to people in your family, talk to people that you know in a positive way, so that we can put this pandemic once and for all.
For more information about the 75th anniversary, what should we contact? Where should we go?
Okay, so in a week, we'll have a website up that specifically talks about the registration. Right now, the points of contact: myself, Brother Green, Brother Vincent Gorey. Brother Gorey's in Rock Hill, South Carolina. I'm in Columbus, Georgia. Obviously, Robert Green is in North Carolina. And what we'll do is we will send you a flyer with the contact information that you'll be able to publicly post and send out. But those are the points of contact at the moment.
Great. Okay, next we're going to talk about is we having some training that's going on that's kind of like included within the 75th anniversary. Tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial training and your mentoring program.
Yes. Paul, I'm extremely excited to offer this. As I mentioned earlier, we view this as our community service as a part of the 75th to provide opportunities. Not only and by the way, the training session has 3 pillars. It involves leadership development training, entrepreneurial training, which is the focus. And at the end of that, we're going to provide mentorship training and mentorship opportunities for participants. We will offer, it's all online via Zoom. The goal of the training is to provide training that will help, and I want our audience to really grasp this concept. Our goal is to train ordinary people to do extraordinary things in their communities rather. And you do that by participants will identify a problem in the community, and it's a community problem, a large enough problem within the community, provide a resolution for that problem, and then find and identify potential customers that have a desire for that service. And Brother Brown, what does that equal? If you're able to do those 3 things and do those 3 things effectively, what you're offering is a business opportunity. You're offering a business opportunity that provides service to the community that you're in and beyond where you are. And so the goal is to develop entrepreneurs to go back and provide services to those communities, services that they desire, by the way. And what a rich environment to do that. Coming out of a COVID environment, everything in the future has already changed and are changing. This is a field of nothing but opportunities for entrepreneurs to go in and identify those problems and provide solutions and find customers that are willing to pay for that service. So in that 8-week training session, and oh, by the way, this is well before the 75th starts. We wanted to engage in that training, complete it before the week of the 75th, so that during the 75th, a board of members from Epsilon-Epsilon Chapter, other entrepreneurs from the community will hear the presentation of those business plans from our participants. They will select and award selected members of those who are presenting. And the goal is that award will be a monetary award in an amount to help those new entrepreneurs open the doors to those new businesses. So our concept is not just to tickle the mind with the training, but we're wanting at the outset, we're wanting a business plan that at the end of the 75th start a process to where people are opening the doors in the first time. Another thing that's very important to us, Paul, is we don't want to do the training and then set the young people out to start a business and let go of their hands. That's where the mentoring piece come in. Brothers from Epsilon-Epsilon Chapter have already volunteered to be mentors for these young people. Every participant, and we're anticipating between 20 and 30 members, participants. All of these individuals have an opportunity to engage with a mentor after the training and these are entrepreneurs. And these entrepreneurs will help these individuals understand the intricacy of not only starting those business up, but how to keep that business going within the future and improving and developing those businesses. And then the last piece is the leadership development piece. Now that will be interwove into the entrepreneurship training where we see fit. That topic is very, very much related. And in the 8 weeks, we will select certain weeks where we'll bring in the leadership development training. Leadership and mentoring is happening at Benedict College, and he's not online with us today. Dr. Leon Jeter is helping with that to connect us with the 2 organizations on campus already that are providing leadership development training and mentorship training. The idea then, again, is just like Jonathan was mentioning earlier, and we were talking about having this as a service for the 75th. This is our connection with Benedict College. We want to come in and show them and partner with them to help improve what they already have going on in the way of leadership development, entrepreneurship training. We're connected with the business department. In a couple of weeks, we'll go down for a second visit to do some further coordination with that group. So again, we can at the outset not only mentorship training. We'll talk a little bit more in the coming sessions with you, Paul, about internships, connecting Benedict with corporate environment, with the federal government. And Jonathan and I have some connection, and other brothers within the chapter, to where we're going to set up formal internship program once we get agreement with Benedict College, so that, again, it's not only the training we're providing, we want to continue with them in the mentorship concept, and then well beyond that, take them into a relationship where they're connecting with corporate and federal government to put into action opportunities for members of the college to link with federal government and corporate in an internship type environment. So after that event, obviously the goal then is to hopefully some hiring actions will take place.
I know this is great. Oh, great.
Can I add one thing real quick? There are internships that we are starting. In fact, Benedict College has their business incubator. Robert and I will work with them in the next semester, and we're working through the approval processes. Beginning next semester, both Robert's company and my company are going to sponsor some local internships, construction management, doing business with government, so that would teach them how the process of how you bid contracts and how you identify opportunities. We're doing a risk management internship where they'll learn enterprise through operational risk management, and they'll be required as a graduation event to become certified in operations risk management, and eventually RIMS and CRMP certified. So we've got some things that we're going to be doing that will involve, and if the Lord blesses us with some of the projects that we're bidding, we'll bring some of those young people into, and they'll actually get hands-on experience as we go through the process of executing those contracts. So those are some things that we're hoping to have initiated next semester.
Now, being an entrepreneur is a great opportunity, a great investment in your life. How do you get past that fear that a lot of people have of becoming that entrepreneur to being a successful entrepreneur?
Yeah. Paul, that's an excellent question. And one of the things that is different about the training that I will deliver is just that. I studied business at the undergrad level. I went into education at the master's degree. And my doctoral program, my dissertation is career development for the senior executive service members of the federal government. And so one of the things that I will be talking about differently is to take away this stigma that you need a lot of money to start a business. Number two, you need to be in a network of established people in order to be able to get started and get moving. And then that you need this grand concept. I mean, everybody is not going to be the next executive of Google. And unfortunately, most time, that's where our mindset is. We think we have to do it so big at the beginning until most of us don't start. Well, in this 8 weeks of training, I will present entrepreneurs that will explain to our participants and explain their journeys of starting a business with less than $500 and showing them that they took $500 and today operating a $6 million business. And then we'll talk a lot about those things that we know to be true. Minorities don't always get the financial support that they need from our banking system, so that once they start their business, they continue to be able to move forward. Well, part of that talk will be showing us that there is, and for us, we have to understand if that is a reality, and it is, then we have to figure out ways how to get around that. And with the sessions that I'll be talking about and the support from the entrepreneurs that are out there doing business today, we'll show them that when one door is closed, for an example, Paul, and my company is a perfect example. I have a human resource company. When COVID-19 started, then the human service part, people were trying to feed themselves. They could not focus on additional training and development. So I pivot. Because one of the things I tell them during the course is you have to look for opportunities. When your business slow down, there's a second door that's opening, and you got to learn to walk into it. Well, I walked into that door, and guess what? I have not provided much in the way of professional development training and human resource training much during the COVID period. But that business has thrived. And this is what I want to demonstrate, not only talk to them about, but use my own personal experiences, the experiences of the entrepreneurs that we will bring on with us to show them that if your mind is open and that you're willing to pivot, then none of these traditional myths, minority businesses don't get financed. You need a lot of money to start a business. More than 90%, 75, 80% of the businesses will close within the first 3 to 5 years. Those things are true, but we'll talk to you in this course about how to get past those barriers so that you can not only open your business, but you will make sure that your business doors doesn't close until you're ready to turn that business over to another family member or someone of interest to you.
Now, the mentoring programs that y'all have, why is this so important in our society today?
So
go ahead, John.
I'll start and then let Robert finish. Let's go back to our basic fundamentals of what we learned when we were pledging Omega Psi Phi. Uplift is critical. Lifting as we climb, that motto, that's critical. But the one thing that we can go back to is if we look over our lives, many of us, not all of us, but many of us have been blessed to have folk who poured into our lives some of the stuff we didn't understand, but we understand it now. At pivot points in our lives, the Lord has placed people in our paths that helped us on our journey to continue our success. For those of us who have received that help, no matter how it came, no matter in what form it came, we have an obligation to look back and see if we can help these young folk. Because if we do, I'm 60 years old, Robert's and I are same age, basically. We've got all these experiences in life. What mentoring does is we allow these folk not to have to go through those same stumbling blocks and that same time path that we went through, but we're able to warp speed them forward to where we are, so that it becomes a better launching path for them, and they're able to move forward at a younger age, much smarter, armed with all of the information and experience we can provide. And with that commitment, if you're going to mentor somebody, you've got to be able to walk them through those stumbling blocks to help them find their path, as well as help them find the resources that would help them be successful. None of us can do this by ourselves. All of us need someone to help us. And it's just an obligation we're fulfilling, Paul.
Gentlemen, we're running short on time, but I would love to have y'all come back, not only to talk more about the mentoring program, the entrepreneurial program, but also the 75th anniversary. But thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show. Thank you, audience, for watching the show, and you be encouraged.